Funniest thing ever, I found this agent's phone number via Chat GPT. So shout out Chat. Let's call her. Calling on this house is a potential development deal here in Portland, and the agent, I don't know, didn't want to be called because she didn't put her phone number on the Zillow listing. So I had to track her down a little bit. But Chat GPT, you cannot run from it. Now I'm talking about. So here we go. $5, no answer. Game on. It's 2:30 p.m. To be fair, most agents are checked out by now for the day.
Sorry, I missed your call. Go ahead and leave your number.
What's going up? I just had a couple questions before actually writing an offer on it. Talk soon. So I left her a voicemail. I don't typically leave voicemails, but she sounded, if you caught the tone and age in her voice, she sounded like she appreciates the voicemail. So we'll see. Calling us back real quick. This is Brad.
Hi there, Brad. My name is.
Hey.
I missed your call yesterday as well. It was my return call time, but yeah. So let me know. Yes. What?
Sorry. No, it's totally good.
No,
no.
I was just outside with the doggies. Okay, you're okay.
Oh, the best. I own a dog business. What kind of dogs do you have?
Oh, well, what? One is they're both seniors, by the way. One is a very old Lhasa Apso, and then the other one is a Australian Shepherd mix.
Very cool.
Shepherd, though. Yeah.
Well, those ones are full of energy.
He still is, even though he's 14.
I bet.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Still plays fetch and goes to the dog park and all that good stuff. So.
No, totally cool. I had seen your listing, and I really wanted to call because I'm gonna get over there and I'm gonna go walk it. But I did want to call you first and just kind of see like where everything was at, if you had any offers, or honestly just kind of what kind of feedback you guys are getting on this one, because I'm kind of surprised it's still available.
Oh, well, so were you the one that called? And because I did listen to my messages, you were wondering about open houses and things.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So we are having one tomorrow night, by the way.
Oh, hey. Ding, ding.
Yeah, I have to add it to the RMLS so that it goes out on Zillow and everything. But
yep.
There will be an agent there hosting that. I mean, it needs work. It's a fixer, so It's got to have some. I mean, you saw the siding. The siding. No, I looked close. I mean, it needs work. So that's part of it. I know I actually have an offer, but it's not. It's an investor, and so it's a big time low ball. So I'm like, listen, I sent them back comps, and I said, you guys gotta, think about this, because the rehab value, not rehab. Anyway, that's part of it.
Okay.
The market's slow. It's also in that price point where it's rough for people, because when the interest rates went up, people that could buy at 5 are now buying at 4. I mean, that's all they can buy. So the buyer market shifted over by about $100,000. So, this property, for instance, is only hitting, it's only kind of open to people that could buy it around $700,000, say a year and a half or 2 years ago. So it's just, so it may be priced a little high, also, and I know that. My seller, sellers will do that sometimes. So I think it's a little on the high side, although it's such an interesting little neighborhood, because for me, it's really tough. I have to go way back, find comps, and enough comps, I should say.
Right.
There's not a lot of turnover over there. So as far as housing, people don't like to leave that area, it seems. So
yeah, 100%. Well, people paid a lot of money for their houses too. Like a couple years ago, it got these screaming interest rates, and so now they're not going anywhere.
Right. I mean, it's a really, really, really I love that neighborhood. Well, you said you've been by, so you know exactly where it is. It's nice. It's a corner lot. It's a double lot. So a lot of space there. You have a dog business.
I do.
Like, you do. What is that one where people rent their yards, or do you?
Oh, you know what? So I own a business. It's called Muddy Paws Adventures.
Sure.
And I used to take dogs out. So I would take like off leash trained dogs. I would take them to like lakes, rivers, trails, for like, frisbee and hiking and all this other stuff. And then like that business kind of evolved, and now it's more of an e-commerce store. Like it all runs online.
Oh my gosh!
And so it's pretty cool. Like it's evolved over the years for sure. And now like it's kind of this side hustle that has just turned into like a full blown business. And like I get to meet a lot of dog people, so I love that all the time. It's my favorite thing. But yeah, it's always funny, like whenever I encounter people with dogs, it's like, oh, okay, we're gonna be friends.
Oh. Yeah, well, yeah, same. We seem to like our senior dogs. I know. Oh, I know.
Do you know on this one? Do you know the head height at all on the basement? Has anybody measured it?
I a long time ago we got the measurements, and I don't remember. I mean, because I've been working with the sellers for quite a while. That house was full of items full. Top to bottom kind of type of thing.
Oh, really?
So it took a long time to clear it out. Yeah. So I tomorrow night actually I've been listed. I have an agent going to host an open house tomorrow, and he's going to remeasure so that we have those numbers for sure. But
okay,
you can bring if you go to open houses, bring a tape measure so you know for yourself too.
Yeah, exactly. What time are you guys doing it tomorrow?
That's going to be 6 to 8.
6 to 8.
We're going to do another one on Saturday. But
6 to
Saturday. 8. Yeah, I think it's supposed to rain. 6 to 8 tomorrow.
6 to 8.
And then,
I'm just writing that.
But you're welcome to go walk the property. The gate is locked. So as far as looking at the backyard, yeah. See, those neighbors, they just moved, so there might not be too many nosy neighbors going, what are you doing? It's good. I mean, there was a guy next door that was, every time I went over, he would come out.
Oh, fun.
Again? Oh, because I did I helped them a lot with yard work and trimming and raking and mowing and all of that. So, not normal real estate.
I was gonna say that's like way extra than any agent I know.
I know. It was just a very overwhelming project for these guys. So
got it.
That's the deal.
Did they inherit this one, or are they older owners?
That's kind of the situation.
Yeah.
This one.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Interesting. And where's it definitely looks like they're priced a little high, but where's their head at with everything as far as, are they like trying to get it done by any certain date, or are they just waiting for the right?
They kind of have it up there a little bit high, but they also want to sell as soon as possible.
Yeah.
So it's
okay.
Yep. So I don't. They want, yeah. So, anybody that wants to maybe submit an offer, the kind of financing, I don't think it will go just straight FHA if someone's financing it.
That's what I saw.
Because I don't know if you pulled it up online, but
yep.
Yeah, but like a rehab or it should go conventional. I've done some crazy conventional loans. I did not think they'd finance where there was tarps on the roof, but they.
Oh, really? That would be a rough one.
It wasn't a problem. They said as long as it's covered and not leaking. So.
Oh, geez.
So conventional or rehab, definitely not VA. There's a cracked window, and then there's exposed on the inside. The person who lived there before was starting to do a project where they were going to remove all the wallpaper. They got partially through removing the wallpaper. They did.
Okay, is that what that is? I was wondering if that was like water damage or something.
I think that there was some water damage at one point, and it was from the windows. So then they like fixed the windows and corrected that. And this was years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But then they never, as you can see on the exterior, they never like finished the windows as far as like the trim.
Right. Yep.
So they did enough to stop the leaking and everything. And
like, it'll be all right.
So, yeah, interesting. But completely remodeled the kitchen, so I don't. Yeah. Wait, but.
Well, yeah, I mean, at least the tub looks good.
The person is no longer with us, so I haven't been able to, like, pick their head and big brain to figure out what they were thinking. So.
Yeah. Do you have the CMA from when you pulled the comps on this one? I'm wondering what it's gonna like. If you have initial thoughts on what it would be worth after it's all done up.
Oh. Well, I just was doing that again and sent them to another agent who. It's like, I have an investor who wants to flip it. And so I will, if you have an email, I'll put a little bit of a more formal thing together because I just sent him our MLS numbers.
Yeah, totally fine. If you have something that, I mean, I can look them up too. I can comp it myself. Mm-hmm. But if you had already pulled something that I could just quickly glance at, then that would just make it a little easier. But I definitely will be there tomorrow. Before I shoot myself in the foot there, let me make sure. Tomorrow at 6. Yes, I'll be there tomorrow at 6 for the open house.
Okay, yeah, sure.
That'll work, and then that way I can check everything and measure that, and then also measure the yard. I think that it would be a good one. I like I said, I'm surprised. So they already got an offer, it sounds like, and they turned it down. Or did they turn it down, or are you guys?
We haven't turned it down. I talked to the agent into putting an expiration date of Monday. So, I know
that's a smart one.
Which it's kind of lowball. Like if my guys would say no way. I would say no way because I've comped this thing, so I know better than to let them walk away with this house for that much. So that's what I'm going to say about that.
Sure.
Yeah, even if it is cash offer.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm like, you're way off the mark. So I can actually. I'm sorry. You're just a buyer, or are you an agent, or do you have an? I'm sorry, I need to check this because I'm like, I'll just shoot you the MLS numbers, but I don't know if you can.
No, 100%. That's totally awesome. So I am a flipper developer that I do projects all around Portland. But I have not had my license for the longest time. I've always, for whatever reason, just avoided it. And now I'm just so irritated of not having MLS access that I'm going through the dang education and getting all my stuff.
Nice.
So currently, no, but in like literally a month.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Well, congratulations.
Hey, thank you.
It's like, even if you're not really aggressive with it, although if you're, I've heard of your business. I'm like, I recognize that name. So I probably, like I said, I have dogs. I'm a lifelong dog owner. So, but somebody told me once, and it just stuck with me because, it costs money to maintain a real estate license.
Oh, yeah.
But they said, you can, if somebody knows, as long as you don't hide the fact that you're licensed, you can practically roll out of bed and get one listing a year.
Yeah, no joke, huh?
Or one sale a year, right? Which totally covers all of your expenses. So you might if you're at all adept with it, you might as well, I guess, maintain a license just so you can do stuff like this.
Exactly. I agree.
The industry is getting all whacked out and changing anyway. So if I shoot you MLS numbers, I think you can now, even just as a standard buyer, go on MLS and look at these things.
Yeah, I have agents who send me like the MLS link sometimes, and it'll pull up like a buyer's view. I don't know if this one will do that though. But yeah, definitely like whatever. This is my cell phone. I can send you my email too if that's better for you.
Yeah, do that.
Okay.
Do that because then I'll just email that and I won't hound you or anything. Not like that.
Okay.
Unless you want me to. I'm just kidding.
No,
I'm a principal broker, so I actually am a managing broker at my little office over there. So
I love it.
If you're trying to figure out where to hang your license, where they won't bug you and try to force you to put floor time in every day of the week, and you just want to kind of, it's a good place to be because there are no dust fees and our cap is low. And anyway.
Well, yeah, 100%. We should have that combo once I get it, because I think I'm like halfway through the course right now. So,
Nice.
I literally have just been hammering it out because I've been around real estate for long enough that like I know, like probably 90% of the info, but it's just like, man, so tedious having to sit here and go through all of it,
It is, and it's so funny because once you're licensed, when you're actively doing the business, none of it doesn't even
apply.
Rarely do you need any of it except for some of the most important regulations that we all know about agency and all that stuff. And then, but man, no transaction is the same. And then you end up doing all this research anyway. Oh, this is a new one. So anyway, yeah, just memorize it enough to pass it, and then you're.
Yeah, exactly. That's awesome.
And then operate ethically, and then you should be extra good. So yeah, shoot me your email, and I'll send you comps.
Okay, perfect. I will do that as soon as we get off the phone. I'll text it to you. Is this your cell phone? I can text you.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Okay, awesome. I will do that, and then, like I said, I will definitely see you if you're going to be there tomorrow at the open house.
Thursday, yeah. Nope, I'm doing something different. My agent, my brand new agent, by the way, brand new licensee Timothy will be there. He's very So
cool. Okay.
Hosting the open house. We'll see. You can tell me how he did. I'm just kidding.
I'll be your spy.
He's a good guy, but he's shy. So we'll see. All right.
Awesome. This number. All right. I will text this number right now, and then send me those whenever you get them. I appreciate it.
Okay. Sure thing.
All right. Have a good night.
Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye. So this agent she's an odd one. I don't know how to put it nicely. That is nice. Whatever. She's an odd one. And you mean there was just something interesting going on there in the conversation, but immediately started off with a bunch of rapport, right? Just, hey, like, capture the dogs, right? Capture the dog comment and capitalized on that to then build some rapport, because she even circled back later in the conversation about the dog. So clearly that told me that was a key point to build rapport with her. She told me they had another offer that I think this is super sketch. She has an offer in hand that she has not presented to the seller. So sketch number one, right? But she basically has told them no, that they're not going to do that. Now she needs to present that offer. She put a deadline. She's asking the agent to put a deadline of Monday, which is today's Wednesday. That's a long deadline to not even tell your seller that you have an offer in hand. That's beside the point. Ultimately, she's a pretty good agent because she didn't give away any information that could help me win this thing. So she did give me some info, which one, she said that they did get an offer. It was a lowball offer from another investor looking to flip it. And I'm betting that it was one of two things. It was a wholesaler looking to just, catch this thing at half price, right off the bat, or it was an actual flipper who's presenting a realistic offer, because this thing needs a lot of work. And she sounds like an older agent. She sounds like she's, maybe looking at comps. That's why I asked her, hey, send me those comps that you pulled, because if you're saying that this offer is too low and you have comps to back up, she said, I sent them back comps. I want to know what comps she sent them, because if she sent them comps that are new house or renovated houses, then that's for me to go back and to say, hey, this is, you're listed at 600 and the comps you're showing are 650, maybe 700, but this thing needs, $100,000 worth of work. So there's no profit there, right? So I don't know where her head's at, and I want to understand what comps she's pulling, because if she is pulling valid comps and these comps are, $800,000, $900,000 houses, and this thing only needs $150,000 worth of work, then yeah, we got a deal, right? Even at full price, that's great. But she said it's listed high. It's listed high, so we already know. So ultimately, she gave me that info about the lowball offer. A little shady that she hasn't presented it to her sellers. I'm not gonna lie, but hey, it's not my license. The other thing is she didn't know the head height in the basement, and in Portland, if you're a realtor, if you're a real estate agent in Portland, Oregon, basement head height is especially on a fixer house, is probably one of the most important things to know for you to market a property effectively to investors, which this house needs an investor buyer. She's talking about conventional buyers buying this thing. This thing is tore up from the floor up. So she is not going to get a standard buyer on this house. She's going to get an investor buyer. And so if you're looking for investor buyers, you need to know investor lingo. So anyways, or what investors are looking for, I should say. So ultimately, knowing the basement head height would be huge because it's a full footprint basement, which means that the basement runs the entire length of the house underneath it. And so if that basement head height is 6'8" or taller, it's a huge deal for an investor to come in there and flip not only just the house, but add value by finishing the basement also, right? And thirdly, for us, the developer, is to know your zoning and to know what the potential for the lot is, because I guarantee she does not know that we could build two street-facing houses behind this one, because it sits on a corner lot. And so we can build two street-facing houses, which is massive value in this neighborhood. So there's all these things that it's like, man, if you just do a little more due diligence, then you could get your clients more money and possibly sell for this price if you're marketing to the right buyer. But right now they're not. And so we'll go to the open house tomorrow. And I was hoping that she would be there so that I could chat her up and try to get, like a dual listing or something, so that she actually presents my offer. So anyways, see how it goes. So hopefully that was helpful to see that was a real conversation with a real agent on a real live listing, right? I'm actively looking to buy this house. This is not a practice run. This is not a script. This is nothing. This is literally showing that when I'm going to make a ton of these videos, because when I first started, I remember Jerry Norton was the guy who I would watch do live, agent calls. And it was insanely valuable to me. And Jerry does it from a wholesaler's perspective. I'm doing it from a creative developer's perspective, right? Is ultimately what this conversation is going to be focused on, because I'm calling listings that I'm focusing on trying to develop. So whether I'm going to, as I dive deeper into the development game, whether I'm splitting lots, whether here we're going to do ADUs in the backyard, cottage clusters, whether we do townhomes or stuff like that, whether we do, we'll do mother-in-law suite on the basement. There's all different types of stuff that we can do here in Oregon. This is like, I love that nobody wants to invest in Oregon because it's a blue state. Get the hell out of here, man. No, it's amazing. I love the opportunity that's here in Oregon. And I love that so many of my investor buddies who don't live here avoid it like the plague, because the opportunity is abundant if you know what to do with it. Real quick, like and subscribe to this video, because I know that it's going to be valuable to people who were me when I first started, right? So the more people that actually like and subscribe, the more people it actually reaches so that they can be helped. So that is really the key here. If there's anything that I can ever do, or if you have like feedback on that conversation, put it in the freaking comments, because I am always looking to get better. I never think that I'm the best closer. I'm pretty good. That was not a closing call. That was basically an investigation call to see what I was dealing with there. And I will record the next call when I call her to actually make the offer. So that will be a closing call. But I'm always looking to get better. So if you've got feedback on that call and what I could do better, or what you would have done differently, or what I did great, so that I can take note of that and make sure I implement that every time, Also, put it down in the comments. Thank you.